good morning, time to go. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all looking.
Welcome back to the 3x5 Live
podcast.
On this podcast, we talk about mindset, mindfulness, productivity. And if you haven't learned yet, we've moved this podcast to a bi-weekly event from our weekly event. So it's going to be that way for the foreseeable future. Maybe we'll sneak some back-to-backs in there every once in a while. But right now we have the cadence of every other week. And we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving.
This could be coming out on Thanksgiving.
Well, we're recording this actually the day before Thanksgiving. It should be coming out tomorrow, but the odds of you guys listening to it tomorrow when you're with family.
True story. Okay.
So we hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Sure do.
So we introduced a lot of you guys to Bryan Johnson. Bryan Johnson, head of Optimize, which has now become Heroic. Which is a coaching platform. He comes out with Philosopher Notes, which is basically cliff notes of books. A lot of books are in the kind of the space of what we talk about on this podcast. Mm-hmm. So actually, I think a bunch of people within our community signed up for Heroic Coach, and I hope you're enjoying it. I was a founding member of Heroic Coach. And the reason why we're saying all this is Bryan Johnson actually has a coach, and his coach is a guy by the name of Phil Stutz. And recently on Netflix, a documentary called Stutz came out, and knew this was coming out, and was so pumped to tune in. And of all people, Jonah Hill is the one that
is interviewing him.
Yeah, that did the documentary on him. So he's actually Jonah Hill's, I guess, therapist, even though he's Bryan Johnson's coach, which is kind of interesting, but he's Jonah Hill's therapist. Mm-hmm. And in this documentary, he goes through some of his tools. Stutz goes through some of his tools. He's a therapist that likes to give like actionable, simple takeaways to help you implement to help overcome whatever you're facing in life.
Mm-hmm. The tools spoke to us so much. One, because they're reminiscent of the cards in 3x5 Life and what we believe in to be these short formed ways to organize your thoughts and ideas onto a 3x5 card. And so he literally draws in black ink on white index cards, these tools, and the visualization of that was so powerful and just made it so simplistic, and something about drawing it in that format as we were watching the documentary helped these tools to really stick. And so we thought we would take some time to just unpack some of the things that they talked about, because I think it's an alignment to our mission and our goal at 3x5. And the one that we're going to be talking about today in particular is a tool called Grateful Flow.
Which we obviously picked this tool in honor of the wonderful holiday of Thanksgiving.
Which is tomorrow.
Which was yesterday. So Jesse's like, we need to talk about something with gratitude. So we're like, hey, we listened to Stutz recently. Mm-hmm. We would love to break down some of the other things that we took, other nuggets we took from the documentary. But today we're going to be talking about what he describes as grateful flow.
And I wish that we could draw this for you, but we're going to do our best to give you a verbal visualization so that you could hear this and what that might have looked like. You want to start with what?
Yeah. So imagine here, I'll give the visual of imagine a white index card, and this is what I'm drawing.
And maybe even just if you're not driving, just closing your eyes and trying to, because sometimes it's easier to visualize something if your eyes are closed, and just starting with a nice deep breath in, just settling your body and your brain so that when we are verbally describing this, you can picture it.
Yeah. So imagine a stick figure, which represents you, kind of looking up at a black cloud. And that black cloud represents any negative thought, negative headspace that you're in at that moment.
Even something, if you're facing it's an event or something that you're facing that's causing stress or overwhelm.
Yes.
It could be that too.
Exactly. And then if you're feeling these stressful feelings, that are the black cloud. So that is what's holding you. And what happens when you are in an airplane and it's raining and it's cloudy out, and all of a sudden you're flying, across the country or down south a few hours away, and you break through those clouds. And when you break through those clouds, all of a sudden the sun's out. So when you're thinking about this black cloud, always know above the black cloud, there is sun, just like that experience you have in an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take the next section?
Yeah. So the idea for this is to utilize the tool of gratitude in order to break through that black cloud. And so he talks about the grateful flow as being just taking a moment. And he also suggests closing his eyes, but doing almost like a little mindfulness or meditation practice where you close your eyes and just riff on or let flow all of the small things that you're grateful for. So a lot of times we pick the same things to say over and over that we're grateful for: our family, our friends, our home, those types of things. This is like minute details. And we've talked about this before as like gratitude practice. It could even be something that you get to do that you're feeling grateful for. So it could be like a warm cup of coffee. It could be, my soft, fuzzy socks. It could be my hat that's keeping me warm, even though we're inside. So it's just this like riff or mindful listing in your head about all of these small things that you're grateful for. And the ability to do that immediately creates a calm in your body. And you can actually even feel like a sensation. I like to think about it in my chest, like in my heart, where it like allows this peace and this breath and this moment to just tap into that. And then if you can picture through the visualization process of the stick figure holding these grateful moments or flow in their heart and then shooting it upwards, like, so you almost see like a beam of light that can like break through that black cloud. And so now where that adversity or that problem or that negative self-talk or that negativity or mindset that you kind of found yourself in, it is now shattered through because you took a moment to focus on the good and to focus on the positive.
Yeah. So the actual like simple cartoon picture would be this stick figure with arrows going up, which is them shooting this grateful energy towards the sky or towards the cloud. And then a simple fluffy cloud, but broken in half with these arrows going through to what would be sunlight above the clouds.
And obviously the picture itself is powerful, but if you could put yourself as the stick figure and really feel that process in your body and in your mind, you are the stick figure. Your energy from the grateful flow is what's creating that break in the clouds. You can now look up and see the sun. And just thinking about that, maybe even visualizing what the sunlight feels on your face and just how that gives you a moment of peace and clarity and calm. It is amazing what the mind does when you can actually do visualizations like this, because it really does embody those feelings and you will be able to feel a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And the point is not to do this once on a Saturday. The point is to implement this tool to do it at a regular cadence when those black clouds inevitably come up a few times a week, to just sit back, visualize that black cloud and visualize yourself breaking through with this grateful energy, and then doing that on repeat as a tool in your toolbox for when challenges come up in life.
I love that you say the tool. Like, I liked that he called these tools, because when I do my speaking about self-awareness and self-management, I always talk about that idea of tools in your toolbox. And we have the tools. The hardest part is using them and knowing when to use them in a way that's most helpful. So the self-awareness piece is exactly what you were saying. You can actually identify that there is a black cloud. Like, that's powerful in of itself, that you are recognizing that at that moment you are feeling something negative, sticky, you can't really kind of work through it. That is that self-awareness piece. The self-management piece is that ability to consistently use a tool that can help you move through that feeling that you're now able to identify. And so be it this tool or any of the other tools that we talk about, but just the way that this was presented to us just made so much sense. And we were hopeful that we could give you something that you can literally put in your pocket so that when those clouds gather, you now can find some light and some peace.
Yeah, exactly. An actionable way to use gratitude.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and your 3x5 cards. Don't
yes.
forget to, because that is also like one of the things we talk about the grateful, the AM gratitude, is to try to write something that's different. That's not going to be the same thing every single day. Trying to point out something that maybe does usually give you those black cloud feelings, but using gratitude as a way to flip the script. So I think that this ties perfectly into something that's important to us, but maybe just gives you a little bit of a different way to think about it.
Exactly. So we hope you had
or have
a
wonderful Thanksgiving.
Fantastic Thanksgiving. We will be touching base with you guys here soon.
In a few weeks.
Did I just say touching base?
You did.
That's
sure
like
did.
It's like I'm signing off on a work call here.
And out.
Peace.
Peace. Have a good one.
We are all loved.